Welcome to Has Wings. Today let's look into the fascinating world of aviation. Have you ever sat on a plane, looked out the window at the army of people scurrying about, and wondered, how does any of this actually work? It's a question that has plagued mankind since the dawn of the jet age. The truth is, airlines are like gigantic metal-filled jigsaw puzzles, with thousands of pieces that need to fit together perfectly for that baby to get off the ground. We're talking about a global ballet of logistics, timing, and engineering, all choreographed to get you from point A to point B, with hopefully just a few screaming babies and a minimal amount of lost luggage. It's a system so complex that even a seasoned traveller like myself can't help but be amazed by the sheer audacity of it all. But somebody's got to do it. And by somebody, I mean a whole lot of somebodies. From the pilots wrestling tons of metal through the air, to the bloke loading your suspiciously heavy suitcase, it takes a massive team effort to make those metal birds sing. So, buckle up, grab a gin and tonic. They don't serve those on planes anymore, do they? And let's take a peek behind the curtain of modern aviation. You might think that deciding where planes go is as simple as drawing a line on a map from, say, London to New York. Well, my friend, you'd be wrong. Route planning is a high-stakes game of connect the dots, played on a map the size of a small planet. Airlines don't just consider distance, they've got to factor in everything from air traffic control to the price of jet fuel in Uzbekistan. First, they've got to figure out where people actually want to go. Seems simple enough, right? But it's not just about finding a beach with cheap cocktails. Airlines need to analyse passenger demand, seasonal trends, and even things like major sporting events or music festivals. Once they've got a handle on where the people are going, they've got to figure out how to get them there efficiently. This means navigating a tangled web of airspaces, each with its own rules and regulations. It's like trying to drive a Ferrari through a school zone during rush hour while dodging potholes and angry pigeons. And just when they think they've found the perfect route, some volcano in Iceland decides to erupt, spewing ash into the atmosphere and throwing the whole system into chaos. But wait, there's more. Airlines also need to consider the cost of fuel, aircraft maintenance, and crew salaries. It's enough to make your head spin faster than a Boeing 747 in a hurricane. Now that we've tackled the complexities of route planning, let's dive into the equally daunting task of scheduling flights. Imagine trying to create a timetable for a school with thousands of students, hundreds of teachers, and only a limited number of classrooms. Now imagine that some of those classrooms are prone to spontaneous combustion, and you're starting to get a sense of the challenges involved. Airlines use sophisticated computer programs to juggle all these variables and spit out a schedule that, in theory, should work. These programs take into account everything from aircraft availability and crew schedules to airport slot restrictions and passenger demand. It's like trying to solve a Rubik's Cube while riding a unicycle on a tightrope. Of course, no plan survives contact with the enemy. And in the world of aviation, the enemy is anything from bad weather to mechanical issues to a flock of geese with a death wish. When delays do occur, it's like a domino effect, rippling through the entire system and causing headaches for everyone involved. Now, let's talk about something near and dear to my heart: keeping those magnificent flying machines in tip-top shape. You wouldn't take an old car on a cross-country road trip without giving it a good once-over. Or maybe you would, knowing some people. Similarly, You can't expect to hurl a giant hunk of metal through the air at 500 miles per hour without a little TLC. Aircraft maintenance is a rigorous and highly regulated process that involves everything from routine inspections to major overhauls. Think of it as sending your car to a team of obsessive-compulsive mechanics, armed with toothbrushes and a healthy fear of gravity. Every nut, bolt, and wing flap is poked, prodded, and x-rayed to within an inch of its life. And it's not just about fixing things that are broken. Maintenance crews also perform preventative maintenance to identify potential problems before they even arise. They're like the unsung heroes of aviation, toiling away in the hangars, making sure that your flight doesn't end up as a fiery crater in some farmer's field.